Maybe it falls to you now, Melania. You can end this reign of terror, and all you have to do is channel your inner Taylor Swift and walk out the door. So Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. But they left out my favorite feature in Us Weekly, which is the 25 Things You Don't Know About Me. Do you read?
Melania came out of hiding to promote her new book. It is the true story of an immigrant who came to America. We now see Melania on the same schedule as Punxsutawney Phil. This wasn't so much an interview as it was a proof of life video, but it's a big get for Fox News. You know, rarely does Fox News allow a brunette to appear on television.
Did you see Trump's latest meltdown? The guy totally lost it after some late-night comedians roasted him. But here's the thing, it wasn't just any roast. This one cut deep.
Maybe if you left him for another man, especially if that man was Mexican, maybe he would implode on his own. You have mine, there you go. We got a hold of Melania's. It's not in this magazine, but it's coming out soon. Would you like to hear Melania's 25 Things You Didn't Know About? All the stars do it. Tim Gunn has done it. If you have his, he'll be out here in a minute. And I did it. It's practically a rite of passage.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
And if there's anyone who knows how to make women feel happy and hopeful, why, it's this gentleman right here. You know, you can't spell "leave me alone" without L-O-V-E, folks. And this reads like a suicide pact, like that. And then he switches into hypnotist mode. You will no longer be thinking about abortion. I will protect women at a level never seen before. If you don't believe it, ask my wife Melania, who every night prays I drive my golf cart into a lagoon. This is, I mean, he's also been yelling at Jewish voters, saying if he loses the election, they will be to blame, which is good. Finally, someone's blaming the Jewish people.
Kimmel and Maher went after Trump's relationship with Melania. And I'm not talking about harmless jokes. These guys exposed some seriously uncomfortable truths about the Trumps. Want to know what they said that made Donald blow his top? Comedians love roasting politicians, but Jimmy Kimmel and Bill Maher just cranked it up to 11 with Trump. These guys didn't just go for the low-hanging fruit like his hair or tan. No, they aimed straight for the heart, Trump's relationship with Melania.
25 things you didn't know about Melania. In Slovenia, I was a catalog model, which is what you call a model you order out of a catalog. I have no first language. I hope I inspire little girls everywhere to marry for money. Every time I look at my husband, I'm reminded of the Slovenian national dish. a fat, greasy sausage filled with cheese.
Kimmel kicked things off with a zinger about Trump probably never reading his wife's book. Can you imagine? The former president, too busy or uninterested to flip through the pages of his own wife's memoir. But Kimmel was just warming up. He dropped a bombshell, claiming Trump and Melania sleep in separate bedrooms. That's gotta hurt, right? It's like Kimmel had a backstage pass to the Trump household and was spilling all the tea. But if you thought Kimmel was ruthless, wait till you hear what Bill Maher said. This guy took the gloves off completely. Maher suggested Melania should pack her bags and leave Trump. And not just for anyone. He said she should run off with a Mexican guy. Talk about adding insult to injury. It's like Maher was trying to hit every button on Trump's rage-o-meter at once. You know what's wild? These jokes weren't just random pot shots. They zeroed in on Trump's biggest insecurity, his image. Think about it. Trump's whole brand is built on being a winner, a ladies' man, the guy everyone wants to be. But these jokes, they painted a picture of a sad, lonely guy whose own wife can't stand him. Imagine being Trump hearing these jokes. Your marriage, the thing that's supposed to show everyone how desirable and successful you are, getting torn apart on national TV. It's like watching your carefully crafted image crumble in real time. And here's the kicker. These weren't just throwaway lines in a monologue. They were specific, detailed jabs that felt way too close to home. It's like Kimmel and Maher had insider info, you know? That's what really got under Trump's skin. These weren't just jokes, they felt like exposés. So when you hear about Trump losing it over some late night comedy, remember, it wasn't just about the laughs. These jokes hit him where it really hurts. His ego, his image, his whole carefully constructed world. No wonder he couldn't just laugh it off. Ever wonder what it takes to make the unshakable Donald Trump truly lose his cool? Turns out it's not foreign policy or economic challenges. It's jokes about his marriage. And boy, did he lose it. We're talking a full-on presidential meltdown that had the internet buzzing for days. But why did these particular jabs cut so deep? Trump didn't just get mad, he went nuclear. His tweets were so angry they made his usual outbursts look like friendly chats. He fired off message after message, calling Kimmel and Maher unfunny losers. Classic Trump, right? But he didn't stop there. Nope, he had to remind everyone he was the greatest of all time and that no one could draw crowds like him. It's like he was trying to prove something to himself as much as to everyone else. You know what's wild? Trump's supporters jumped right in, defending their leader like it was their job. They were all over social media, backing him up and attacking the comedians. But for everyone else? This was better than any reality TV show. People were glued to their screens, waiting to see what would happen next. Here's the thing, Trump's reaction wasn't just about the jokes. It showed how easily he gets rattled, how fragile his ego really is. I mean, think about it. A few jokes from late night hosts, and the former president of the United States loses it completely. That's not exactly screaming thick skin, is it? And you know what's even crazier? This whole thing just kept getting bigger. The more Trump reacted, the more people talked about it. And the more people talked, the angrier Trump got. It was like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and bigger. But let's talk about what really got under Trump's skin. Remember when Kimmel pointed out how uncomfortable Melania looks around Trump, how she swats his hand away in public? That's the kind of stuff that really hit home. It's one thing to make fun of someone's hair or voice, but when you start pointing out cracks in their marriage, that's when things get real. In the end, this wasn't just about some late night jokes. It was about how comedy can shape public opinion, how a few well-placed jabs can reveal more about a person than any official statement. And for Trump, it showed that beneath all the bluster and bravado, there's a guy who's way more sensitive than he wants us to believe. And in politics, that kind of vulnerability can be a real problem. So here's the deal. This whole Trump meltdown isn't just about some late night laughs. It's way bigger than that. These jokes, they're like little grenades thrown into the political arena. They explode and suddenly everyone's talking about Trump's marriage, his ego, his whole image. You know what's wild? Trump's reaction shows he's got a glass jaw when it comes to personal attacks. He tries to act all tough, but a few jokes about Melania and he loses it completely. That's not a good look for a guy who wants to be president again. Next time you're cracking up at a comedy show, remember this. Those jokes might be doing more than just making you laugh. They could be shaping how millions of people see politicians. That's pretty insane when you think about it, right? A few well-placed zingers could actually change the course of an election. Now that's some serious comedy power.